As a collector, you sometimes just come by those rare occasions where you have to be quick to salvage what you can. So let's get to work and find out which treasures lie beneath. Retro computing is the use of older computer hardware and software in modern times. I'm the vintage collector and these are my stories. We've been looking at quite some software pieces and books already, so now is about the time. Do we have some hardware or shall we stay with software still? Well, if this was a democracy you could choose, but since this is not an interactive format, I'm gonna choose. Let's look at the floppy disks. Once again, I have more floppy disks, certainly a few of them which are more interesting, others maybe not. Yes, remember moments ago, these were the ones that I had been looking at already. Let's see if there is some additional ones that would complete my partial disk sets. Maybe I'm lucky. Apparently I'm sorting them out already, so that could probably mean that I have something. I do have, yeah, this belongs to this incomplete set, disk number 5, Visual Basic Professional. Nice, nice, very nice. Some random disk, not so much interesting. Oh, well, that's now very nice. How awesome is that? An OEM bootable floppy for Microsoft Windows 95. I had never one of these. Never. These came only with new computers. I never had Windows 95 on a new computer. I copied one of these at some point in time, but I never owned an original boot floppy disk for Windows 95. Cool. That's cool. There's more, there's definitely more here. Let's see. Well, written annotations once again. Some random floppies. They're stuck together already, so okay, this is something maybe worthwhile preserving, an original mouseware floppy disk from Logitech. Here's just some random copies, and here is even more original disks. We've got Microsoft Visual Basic for Windows Standard Edition, disk number 2, Standard Edition, disk number 3. Okay, no, the other one just moments ago was a Professional Edition. Let's see if more comes. Here comes even more original discs from Microsoft. Very nice design. Microsoft Visual Basic discs 2 and 3, so we're missing a few. And by the way, this is 720k. Then we just get a bunch of random discs. Here's another one that could be Microsoft Access. I had Microsoft Access here already. 1, 3, 4, 5 was missing. Maybe I'm lucky and I have everything in here. Ah, the missing disk number 2 has also appeared. So that makes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. It could be that actually the Microsoft Access disk set is now complete. What else we've got? Random, not so interesting disks. And here we've got Norton Desktop for Windows, Fix-It disk number 1. That could mean that there should be more of this somewhere. Let's put it aside. More random disks. Oh, yes, yes. Okay, here I do hope that I'm really lucky. IBM OS 2.0. Okay. Now let's see, here comes Turbo Debugger and tools, and I think, yes, disks, this is disks 2 and 3, here is disk 1. Hopefully disk 4 still appears, would be very nice. Then we've got random floppies, and we've got Norton Desktop for Windows, program disk 1, maybe belongs to the other one, is both version 2, but I don't know how many disks make up the full disk set. Random floppy. Ah, okay, it becomes more interesting. Yes, okay, that makes sense. Program disk 2, 3 and 4. And since it reads fixit disk 1, this could imply there must be also a fixit disk 2 somewhere. And maybe I have collected it. And then we've got OS2 install disk, OS2 disk 1, OS2 disk 2. I do hope that would be really awesome is if the disk set were complete. By the way, here's again duplicates of Norton Desktop, just the 4 disks. OS2 disk number 3. Okay, that's cool already, that's really nice. Turbo Debugger disk number 4, so that makes that set complete. But the thing is, I'm missing disk number 3 still of Turbo Pascal 6. Here comes still some more disks. Okay, printer disk 3. We had printer disk 4 already. Printer disk 1, printer disk 2. So at least 1, 2 and 3 for the IBM OS 2 is complete. Okay, just some random floppies. Here comes more disks. Oh, that's OS 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, that's crazy. That's crazy, I tell you. 11, 12. Yes, 13, and here is printer disk 5. So it seems, I will need to look it up, but it seems that the OS2 disk set is actually complete. That's cool. That's cool. An original disk set of IBM OS 2 version 2. I would definitely know which machine I'm gonna install this onto. Still one more book, MS-DOS 6.2 Quick Compendium, ja, Schnellübersicht, ja, Quick Compendium. Again with some small bookmarks. Here again, bought on 27th of January 1994 for the price of 37.80 in Basel, so it must be Swiss francs, so around 30-ish euros nowadays. Alright, what else we've got? I managed to get some hardware. So this is certainly something that we always can make use of. Let's check this one out as well. Let's take it out. Yes, looks good. And this, oh, that's interesting. Yes, this is in fact very interesting. We're gonna look at this one separately, but let's start with this one first. Network adapter cards, quite standard. It's an RTL 8139 PCI network card. Although I do most of my collecting revolving around portable computers, network cards are always a good thing. In this case, it even comes still with a small installation manual and even the installation disk. That's quite nice. Including a box, very rare actually. Nice. Then we've got, especially for the older machines, an NE 2000 ISA network card having both the BNC and the RJ45 connector, and here literally the same thing, just with a PCI connector. There's another box for a network adapter. Actually, it's the box for this adapter. I see. Is there something contained inside? Let me check. Oh well. Oh well, that's interesting. Yes. This is still complete. This is now I'm puzzled. 3 times the same floppy disk. I'm sure that only one belongs into this box. Also, I think the previous owner had multiple of the same network card, because here is also 3 times the same installation manual, and here as well, likely. Yes, indeed, at least twice the same version of the user's guide. I'm gonna put some of them away. I will just keep one complete set, which makes sense. How was this actually stowed in here? Was it like this? Maybe, probably. Oh, and also very important, BNC adapter piece included with the network card. So in here as well I have a complete set for a network card, even including a historic box, which is quite nice. Micronet fast LAN adapter. Just checking if it shows some price tag somewhere. Apparently not. But nevertheless, so 2 adapters in a box, 1 without box. That's quite a good thing. And here comes the next piece of hardware, which is interesting. LPT debug card. That's definitely something worthwhile for keeping up. So there's maybe multiple, it's multiple editions of this, so now I get it. So this is the box that contains the LPT only test card, which is this one, which is apparently supposed to be connected to your computer using USB. I didn't know that any such thing existed. I'm just aware about test cards for an ISA or PCI slot to achieve the same thing, testing your computer. Might be interesting to do a video about how this card works, maybe comparing against an ISA diagnostics card. Why not? Why not? So this is not very spectacular, but we've got some power supplies. I don't know if these work, but this is for standard AT connectors. Quite rare to find these nowadays as well. Here's the second one, which apparently as well, where is it? Oh, it's a total mess. It's a total mess. Here the plugs. Here are the plugs. Likewise, AT standard connections. So we're still with hardware. So what I've got here is hard drive caddies. I was not really interested into the caddies because I don't have the frames. But what I do have here inside, and this is also very interesting, is hard drives. And as I said before already, hard drives is always hard to come by, even nowadays. So I might be lucky that I could salvage some working old IDE hard drives. So I'm gonna look at this very quickly. What do we have here? It's a Western Digital Caviar hard drive from 1997 with 3.1 gigabytes. So I'm gonna remove that from the frame now and put it aside, stow it away, so I will be able to use it later on after I had some more time to verify its correct behavior. But apparently the previous owner has made also a label onto it where he says tested in December 27. So maybe I'm lucky and it still works to this day after just sitting in storage for several years. We will see that later on. And here we've got yet another one. Oh, that's interesting from a size perspective. Also, yet again, a notation by previous owner, tested in December 27, and it has a capacity of 800 megabytes. Quite interesting. That would be a bad period accurate for the late 90s. Okay, that's now a pity. It seems that he has shoehorned these screws and they were not fully fitting into the drillings of this hard drive. Ah, what a pity. I think this one, no, it's not loose. It's not loose. That's very bad. Pity, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. I need to do here you see it. You see how he did it. You see the nut, but also the screw. Yeah, the screw was drilling a little bit into the PCB. It didn't destroy it as it looks like, but this is definitely not the way it should be done. Let's see if it works like that. Yes, I think that's enough of a lock to get the screw out. Yes, it works. Yeah. Wonderful. Okay. So, salvaged out of the caddy. RAM pieces, 16 megabytes RAM piece, and here, oh, no clear indication on it, but at least it's a pair of two identical ones, but it doesn't really say something about the capacity. But anyway, this is historic memory modules that I can always make some use of. I have more parts now, or the small parts coming. This is in particular interesting for one of the next things after. what we've got here is probably very, very interesting, because look at this one here. Oops, one was missing. Let's put it back. So here's a collection of ICs of various types. I didn't inspect this any closer yet. I have no idea what these things are, but I shall eventually look at this into more detail. I do have some idea to what it belongs. You will see that later on. There's just an entire collection of things like that. And here maybe we get a hint. Look at this one. This one is labeled basic. So I think these are ROM chips, or have been used at least in parts for ROM. Here's another one that is also labeled basic. And I'm gonna show you something in a few moments that might yield some aha effect. So, and the next one up is actually this. Okay, let's put that on screen quickly. This is the main board of a 1977 home computer or learning computer. It's the Rockwell Advanced Interactive Microcomputer AIM65. I must honestly say I have no idea about it, but this is just the main board. But as fact is, just one moment and I'm gonna put the other one on screen. This is what it looks like. Has also thermal transfer printer built in. And this is a 20 characters display. Comes complete with a keyboard. And actually I got multiples of those. So here's the second one I've got, which has quite some variation in the casing. So now I have even two of them piled up. But what if I told you that I even have a third one, which is again quite different. And just to show this, this is just a power supply. So what are these machines being used for? I have no idea. Okay, no, that's not true. I do have some idea. I did, of course, some online research. As a fact, I do own some similar system, I would say in a broader sense. I mean, this machine is sporting the 6500 CPU, apparently the same make as it was placed into the C64 in later years. This predates the C64 by several years. It was meant as an educational home computer back in 1977. Came along with obviously compatibility to other popular home computer and educational computers of the time, and I will make definitely a follow-up video on these machines, investigating what I can actually do with them. My online research has already shown some very interesting project, for example to build in a CRT expansion so you could hook this actually up to your TV set. That would be definitely interesting to do, and I'm looking forward to this activity. Alright, we're almost through. So let me show you one thing more. Heavyweight, yet another heavyweight. Okay, what is this? Oh my god. Whew, it's heavyweight. Okay, what is this? Okay, endless paper. Lots of endless paper. Okay, I'm actually not into printers, but I actually salvaged two printers for good reasons, I believe. Alright, so here's the next one. See that it fits into the camera, sort of. Yes, it does. This is certainly one paper feed endless paper printer which I have no idea if it still works, but I thought with all of this machinery that I have in my small museum right now, it would be worthwhile to really have at least one printer there, especially as this seems to be a dot matrix printer. But this is not all about it. There is yet another one. So what I've got here, I must say I just took it. I was not 100% sure, but at least it is an HP Hewlett-Packard ThinkJet, a small printer, very compact design, and I was actually hoping that it makes a fit for another machine that I have, an HP 110, but now after unwrapping it I realized it has totally different connectors on the backside, so this is actually a parallel printer and not a printer that is using the HP IL interface, so the interface loop connector, but certainly I will give this one a trial as well, some treatment for an upcoming video, but nevertheless we will see and learn about this. Apparently I do have as well the manuals for those various printers. I managed to salvage them as well. And this was my look into a huge pile of salvage parts, an entire trunk full to be exact. I would not have learned about this if my wife didn't actually tell me about it in the first place. We both were thinking about some stuff, but I personally would have not expected this much of material after all. Aside from pretty standard stuff, some software and books, the more interesting parts to be investigated are definitely the AIM 65s and how to restore them. Stay tuned for a follow-up on this topic. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, then please give me a thumbs up. See you next time.